Hi, everybody. Welcome to the program. We're here for the 23rd time to rank classic 8-bit Nintendo games. All of them. All of the ones that were released in in North America. So, So if you're just joining us for the first time, we're not going to delve into the full library of the Famicom because I don't read enough Japanese to really, do a bunch of Mahjong games. Just assume the Mahjong games all made their way in near the bottom of the list. I don't know. But yes, we have been ranking games for a while now. And this is the list as it stands right now. Here's our top 10, in case you're just joining us. If you want to scan through the list in your own spare time, you can head over to 8bitnintendo.science, in like a web browser. And that's folks have put together an amazing little website there that has a hot list of where we're at. But here's where we're at. Counting down at number 10, Solomon's Key. Oh, what a... Solomon's Key is a fantastic video game. I wish I was better at it. Little Samson at number 9, Super Dodgeball, Gunsmoke, The Goonies 2. Mike Tyson's Punch-Out made its way onto the list at number 5. Recently here, you see. Contra's at number 4, River City Ransom at number 3, Rygar at number 2. And currently our number 1 game, Super Mario Brothers. And then there's the bottom 10. Or the bottom 10 or so. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Coming in at number 157, it's the Black Bass USA. And then there's Snoopy's Silly Sports Spectacular at number 158. Ghostbusters is worse than that. Motor City Patrol, a Matchbox branded game, is at 160. Below that is Super Pitfall, a truly miserable video game. Super Pitfall. There's a ROM hack of Super Pitfall. It's called like Anniversary Edition or 20th, 30th Anniversary Edition, whatever it's called. That actually is a significant improvement to the initial game. If you're ever weirdly curious, it's a fun thing to mess around with. Number 162, we got a hot unlicensed game, Master Chew and the Drunkard Hugh, or Who. I would think it would be Who, but Chew and Hugh would just it's an unlicensed game, so you can't expect them to get the rhymes right either. Going back to back with these unlicensed classics here at 163, we've got Chiller, which is a real piece of garbage. But it's not as bad as Back to the Future, Athena, or Circus Caper. A game that has to be seen to be believed. I was really taken aback with Circus Caper by just how bad it was. If you want to suggest games for the list, you can sign up over at Patreon. Go over to patreon.com/Jeff Gerstmann and join the Gerstmann Advisory Panel. And once you're signed up to that, there's a post you can comment on. It's probably about time that I made a new post because that one's getting lower down the list there a little bit. I can make a collection or something. They added a new way to cluster posts together, which would probably be helpful in this specific situation. So when I get some time, I'll fiddle around with that, see if I can make it a little easier for people to find the post. And you can suggest some games there, as a lot of folks did, but we're starting today with one suggested by me because it's time. I did see this one someone did suggest this a while back, but it's it's time. It's time. So let's bring it over here. That's the wrong. No, okay. That's okay. We'll get rid of that. And then we'll put up that. There we are. Hi. And then let's start our game. We may need to do some controller configuring here. It's a little game called Gyromite, or I guess, robot gyro, if we're going by what the title screen says. Gyromite was one of the pack-in games along with Super Mario Brothers and Duck Hunt when the console first came out. It requires Rob the Robot, but really, it doesn't. And we're gonna see. I need to make sure that my control stuff stuck here. We'll go over to the input binds port 2. Yeah, okay, they stuck. So Rob the Robot. Let's talk about Rob. Rob the Robot is a little. It's a robot with sensors in the eyes that can pick up certain things from the TV screen. As such, when I test that out, when I show that to you, you will see some flickery stuff that you may want to look away from the screen for a few seconds if that's if you're sensitive to that sort of thing. But that was what basically this crazy flashing light is what they did to make Rob work. And what Rob was a robot with a claw arm. And so Rob could rotate to a few different positions, could move the arms up and down and open the arms as well. In fact, we'll go into the test mode here and I think it'll, oh geez. Okay, so sorry, that's some of the flashing we were talking about. I think direct is what we actually want here. Is the thing I'm thinking about. Okay, so this you may see some more flashing here. Yes, you will in fact see some flashing. And so I can make Rob move to the right by pushing to the right, or to the left, or down, or up, or open his arms, or close his arms. And each one of these different flashes is picked up by Rob's eyes, and then it is relayed accordingly. I played it that way a handful of times as a kid. But eventually came to realize that the other thing you did with Rob the Robot is you put the second player controller into a little plastic thing, and there were, Rob, like basically what you were doing with Rob in Gyromite is you would pick up these gyros, these spinning tops. You would drop them into a battery operated thing that would get the tops spinning. Then you would pick them up while they were spinning and move over and drop the tops onto a red or a blue button that will correspond to something in the game. And when the buttons are being pushed down by the spinning gyros, then you would see the things move in game, because it manipulates an apparatus that then just pushes the A and B buttons on controller 2. And so eventually you realize, like, oh right, I can just hit the A and B buttons on the controller, and this game gets way easier. It's a neat idea. And I usually would just use this direct mode to just play around with Rob and use Rob to pick up G.I. Joes and drop them into pits of water that we would pretend would be acid, because Rob was an evil Cobra robot. That was way more fun, really, than Gyromite. Than using Rob in Gyromite. It was difficult because Rob moved slow. It was just gk, and then you'd have to like enter it again and go gk, gk, and like not a fast moving guy. So let's get into the game. I have to play with my controller over here because I have to hit keys on the keyboard that I've mapped to the player 2 buttons. So you see right here, this blue gate, we're stuck. So you would move Rob, pick up a top, bring the top over, and then eventually get that. And then you would need to take the top off to crush that fucking guy. And basically the name of the game is you need to get all of the bombs and not get killed. And that's the game. I think while they're eating a radish, we can walk past him. Yeah. Oh, I could have crushed him. And so it's this vaguely Lode Runner-like game. Except with this additional peripheral that slows the action way down. Later, fucker. Hooray. And so it becomes a very different game without Rob the Robot. Because when you can just hit buttons to open and close the gates, it's significantly easier. Or like the main thrust of the game is sort of missing. All right. I like this little jam, this little and the music in this game I think is really good. Just unlike Lode Runner, the enemies in this game just kind of move in a dumb way. Which I suppose if they were smart and Rob moved as slow as Rob moves, that would actually be probably too hard. Finish eating. Come on. Finish up. Check this shit out. Dead. But yeah, as a kid, this was exactly how I played Gyromite. Basically, after the first, I don't know, let's call it 2 months of having Rob, I don't think I ever played Gyromite with Rob ever again. I would love to do it now. The big problem with Rob, and I bet all of these things only work on a CRT, if I had to guess, because it's similar kind of flashing technology as like the zapper. But the big problem you run into is that the build quality on some of the parts are bad. Specifically, it was the gyros themselves, the spinning tops themselves were heavy metal weights inside the middle of them, and the glue on them over the years would just pop loose, and so the metal tops of the middle part would pop out, and you would eventually get to the weight underneath, and the whole thing would become a little warped and just fucked up. That was close. Okay. Easy peasy. So normally, okay. I guess the other part that I'll show you a little bit of flashing lights again here. So how you would control Rob normally is in mid game you would hit the start button and you see that he pulls his little controller out, and so you hit the start button to basically enter Rob command mode, and that's how you would do it for realsies. All right. And, as the story goes, Rob the Robot was really there to kind of convince retailers that the console was more of a toy than a video game system, because video game systems were so out of vogue at the time that it was, no one wanted to touch the sector. No one wanted to see video games. No one wanted to buy video games for their store or whatever. Sometimes I don't know, it's, depending on how many it has to move on screen at a time, sometimes these things are really slow to move, which is kind of a source of frustration. Like, it's sort of a slow-moving game already. And then when, for whatever reason, the frame rate of the game doesn't slow down, but for whatever reason, the moving pylons, the moving pillars themselves, if there's a lot of them on screen, they move slower. Come on over, man. I'm not going to crush you too much. Are you just going to be on that thing? Well, will this work? Okay. Come on over. We gotta crush everybody, apparently. I didn't want to do it this way. Oh, what do I do to get this guy out of here? We'll let off on blue and let him walk over here, and we'll crush him like we did the other guys. Or we'll just get past him if he's gonna insist on going down. No, die. Okay. So yes, someone says, imagine doing this with Rob. Like, some of these levels take a long time as it is. Now imagine every single operation of, like, lowering one of these gates is something that takes you, a flashing warning here, that takes you like 6 of these moves. And then you have to wait for him to do it, and then go like this, and then wait for him to do it, and then go like this. Like, it's too much. It's too much. But yes, that is that is the game. Without that, what are you even playing? I suppose. Oh, this is not going to go well for me, is it? Oh. I didn't realize multiple guys could munch on one radish. See, look at how fast this one moves compared to a lot of the other ones. Did I get all the other ones? I guess we'll find out. Otherwise, yeah, okay. Aren't you hungry? Come on over. Oh, this one all the way over there, huh? Did I completely screw this up? I did. There's no way back over this gap. Why the flashing thing? Why not control Rob directly? Because it was cheaper. It was more novel. You could have Rob further away from the TV. But also, it's because you inserted controller 2 into it, you know? Like, you took the normal second-player controller that you already had and put it into this apparatus, and you know, and then the gyros would push it, and why gyros and not just weights? Because the gyros spin and eventually stop spinning, and when they fall off the button. And so that gives you like when you have the gates where you need to go, you need to get moving. You need to pick them up and keep moving. You know, like it adds an extra little layer of time pressure to it because the gyros need to keep spinning. Oh, and apparently the start button just brings you back. I guess. Oh, it's one of these games where you can just pick a level like all those other early games. Yeah, I'm sure it was cheaper than putting a bunch of like extra guts inside of Rob. Oh, right. I needed to move with a little more nuance there than I was. There's one other game called Stack Up that works with Rob. I have never seen it. I have no idea what you do in it. I know it comes with like some colored rings or something, but I have never seen it be played. I don't know what level of rarity that game has nowadays. But I know for a while there, it seemed like it was the rarest game. I need to remember which button is which here. I think that's red, and then this is blue. There we go. so I know I can do this with Gyromite, right? But I don't know what the I don't know enough about how Stack Up works to know if there's something we can do to make that work. You know what I mean? And so really, a lot of the game is about, you know, a lot of these later levels seem to be more about, like, you need to know what direction, you know, what order to take things in, because there are ways in that you can't get out of. And so you need to be smart about how you get in there, you know. There's also Game B, which you know, is a relatively different sort of thing. I played a fair amount of Game B. And so now we're sleepwalking. And the controller one is just in full-time Rob mode. I don't have to hit start or anything. So again, flashing light warning. You know, I can just issue commands to Rob. It's just there's great music. Like, I love the design and characters and concept of Gyromite. The gates and the Smicks? Is that the name of the little bird monster guys? And this guy has a name too. I totally can't remember what it is. But at the, yeah, Professor Hector, right. Boskanovich. I think that you could have made, you know, like, this is a cool thing for Rob the Robot, I guess. But, I think if you had taken these concepts and had just a different way to do it, that didn't involve Rob the Robot. If you just made a Professor Hector game and it's like a Lode Runner style puzzle game, I think that would be cool. So here, you know, if we're imagining we're using Rob the Robot here, and you do have two gyros, so you could theoretically use both of them at the same time. You need to get blue down and then make sure you don't have red down, because otherwise they'll go down there. You need to make sure that your gyros get picked up. You don't leave them from the last level or two, you know? Oh, later, fucker. Yeah, when the Labo was announced, I think there was some part of me that was just like, oh, dude. Like, no one would remember it. Like, right at this point, Gyromite has forgotten the time. Rob the Robot is like an interesting curiosity for fucking old YouTube videos and whatever, right? Like, it's not all that important. Let's go to the top one. I don't know. But boy, what if they made another game like this and it used the Labo stuff? You know? That could have been neat. That would have been a fun, like, throwback, I guess. But maybe the setting and characters of Gyromite are, you know, better off lost to time. He won't turn around or die. He'll just walk up against this until you get it right. And so, in some ways, this mode is, you know, it's fewer things for you have to think about, but maybe a little bit more time pressure to get them done. You know, so just imagine a big weighty plastic and metal spinning top is spinning on top of a blue button right now, and then I go down and pick it up. And then realize, oh shit, I gotta put it on there again. So I gotta put it in the spinner, get it spinning, and then drop it on there to open that gate. And the buttons themselves were concave a little bit, so and they had tiny, they were metal tipped on the bottom, and so they had these kind of pointy metal tips at the bottom, not so sharp that you would cut yourself or anything like that, but they were, you know, pointy metal conical tips. And the buttons that you were dropping them onto were concave. So when you would drop them on there when they're spinning, they would stay on there. They were good at just staying where they were supposed to be, you know? You could poke an eye out with one of those things, for sure. For sure. And then I don't know what I don't know that they ever provided any sort of rules for, like, maybe the manual says something about it, but like, what are you supposed to do when when one of your gyros falls? Where is it supposed to go? There were little holders for both of them also that Rob would go over and pick them up out of. So I guess that's actually probably the answer, is you just, you know, the right thing to do would not be drop it into the spinner to get it spinning again. It would be more like put it over here and then... But yeah, I don't know. Rob was a cool idea. Gyromite is a cool idea. I think in a lot of ways this is like a great thing, but it's such a specific thing. You know what I mean? But I don't remember ever even seeing Stack Up on sale when this all first came out. I don't remember seeing Stack Up in stores. I feel like it was something that was like more of a theoretical, like, oh, by the way, there's another game for Rob the Robot that was like, that didn't really exist or something. I know, you know, it does exist, but at the time it just felt like, and you know, not that many people were that interested. I don't know anyone that was like, I gotta get Stack Up. Everyone, I don't even know anyone that was into Gyromite. I'm kind of into Gyromite. I guess I would say I was into Gyromite. But again, mostly so that we could use the robot to pick up G.I. Joes and fling them around and stuff. It was... Oh! Got effed over by the scroll there. I feel like that's a questionable bit of level design right there. Well, that woke him up and killed him. Anyway, that's Gyromite. It's great noises. I think great early Nintendo, great early NES noises. These, you know, kind of subdued fuzzy beeps that Nintendo was always so good at. And you know, I think the music and all that stuff is great. I like the characters. I like the look of it. It's a shame that some of these character designs didn't get used more. You know, they could have. I feel like they could have done, like, I don't know, it's Professor Hector's Radish Adventure, Radish Quest. You know, like there could have been more. There could have been more with these characters. That said, Nintendo seemed to do just fine without them. So, you know, hey. Yeah, Professor Hector could have been in Dr. Mario, but, like, you know, putting Mario's name on a thing helps it sell, I'm sure, at some level. Yeah, Tetris DS is in there a little bit. I'm sure there's like is there a Smash Assist trophy of Professor Hector or a SMIC or something like that? Or is it just Rob? Like, Rob gets all the shine these days. It's a damn shame. Where does Gyromite go on the list? It's it's more of a novelty. I think when you take it into its full kind of when you take it at its fullest, when you involve your robot operating buddy, Rob the Robot, your ROB, in there. It's like it's an exciting novelty. It's a weird thing. There's still kind of nothing really like it. And it's a fascinating, you know, the spinning tops thing. I wonder if at some point in development there was the idea of, like, you know, having to, like, spin plate. I don't know if spinning plates is a metaphor in Japan. Maybe it's not, but that idea of you have to keep these things spinning, you have to keep the professor alive, you have to, you know, keep the enemies getting crushed. You have to, like, the number of things you kind of have to balance in that game at the same time, I think, is really interesting. And it's fun up to a point, and then eventually you learn that, like, oh, I can just hit the buttons on this controller. Why would I ever, like, and you know, like, Rob took batteries. The thing that gets the gyros spinning, I think, took a big D cell battery. Nothing takes D's anymore. Nothing takes D's batteries. I'm hard pressed to find things that take C's even. It's a AA and AAA world. Back in my day, we were using C's and D's all over the place. I like Gyromite. But do I think that Gyromite is, like, a fantastic video game? Like, no. Especially these days, I think, you know, because it is so difficult to play it in its original context. Because, well, I mean, I have all the parts for a Rob, but I would have to try to glue the gyros back together because they popped up decades ago. Like, they peel apart, they crack, the plastic on them is messed up. Like, it's very difficult. And I know there was just on the Awesome Games Done Quick stream, I know they did do a Gyromite run of some kind that I'm curious about. But yeah, Rob the Robot is as people say, a dog did it, and I'm wondering. Okay, I have to ask chat here. I sorry to derail the stream. Did they use Rob at all, or was it just a person telling a dog red, blue, red? No Rob? Okay, they just told the dog. Okay, That makes sense. So the dog pressed custom buttons instead. Okay, yeah, that's what I figured it probably was. So even they didn't use a real robot. Okay, that's fun though. That's cool. Gyromite is like one of those weird, like vaguely important games for the early system, for the early days. Obviously, it has its kind of lore as like, hey, it helped more retailers believe in the system, and that's certainly a value. But I think, I as someone who did play a fair amount of it with the robot back then, it's even then it's a novelty. It's not something that you're going to want to play a ton of. And without the robot, the game is, the level design could be then deeper and more advanced. Like in some ways, they're kind of caught between things, because I think the level design actually gets a little bit too complicated to do with the robot. It's a hassle at some point, because you're like, all right, fuck, I got to pick this up, do this. Oh, wait, I got eaten by a guy. Oh, wait, he ate the radish. And like, you end up in some moments there where it's like fast moving, and Rob doesn't move all that fast. So you're not that responsive. And the game became a real pain in the ass at a certain point. And so I didn't feel like I was cheating as a kid when I would just hold controller 2 underneath controller 1 backwards, and so I could use it was the first example of back buttons on a controller, and use those to manipulate the gates. It's got its 40 levels. It's got Game B, which is fun too. It's neat. I think it's cool. I think there's nothing quite like it. It's not incredible, but it is. It's probably some kind of middle of the list type thing here. Where does it fit in here? It's not as good as Little Mermaid. It's no Wampum. It's no Scoon. Excite Bike is a better video game. Do we feel it's better than Russian Attack? I actually don't think so. So maybe we're thinking down here. Is Gyromite better than Spelunker? Yeah, it is. Is it better than Dino Wars Destruction of Spondylus? Spondylus. Yeah. Is it better than baseball? Are we in the right zone here? Can I find an upper limit for this? I guess we're kind of in this spot here somewhere. Gyromite is better than baseball because of the novelty of it. The original baseball, you don't even do any of the fielding on your own, which is, for the time, not all that weird when you consider the year it came out. That was not that crazy. And baseball, it's a fantastic game. I've played hundreds of hours of baseball. Of course, then superseded by at least 2 other baseball games. Is Gyromite better than Spy Hunter? It's a funky port. Yeah, I'm gonna say yeah, but it's not better than Russian Attack. So we're honing it in here. I guess the real question is it better than Kicks? Is it better than that port of Kicks? No. It's, again, weird platform to put Kicks on, but Kicks is still Kicks at the end of the day. Okay. I think where we're at with this is right about here. And thus, and so, Gyromite is our new number 97. Congratulations to Professor Hector and the gang. I'm glad to get that one on the list. That was something that, I've been having the Gyromite conversation in my head for the last week or two of just man, how do I really feel about Gyromite? But it had been so long since I played it. I played a little bit of it last night just to make sure I could get the controllers mapped and working. And I was like, oh yeah, Gyromite. Gyromite's pretty kick-ass. It's just weird. You know, like I would not begrudge. I think there's a lot of people that are very dismissive of Gyromite because the robot, I think, just gets, you know, people just go like, oh, the fucking robot. Like people just kind of roll their eyes at the concept now. But in its day, it was an interesting piece of technology. And the game, I think, is better than the piece of technology. In some ways, that's sort of a shame. Did anyone order the Apple headset? Yes, today is the day. If you're watching this, the archive of this, today is the day for Apple Vision Pro pre-orders. I was up early and decided to try to pre-order one. But by the time I got through the process of taking pictures of my face and all the other stuff they needed, it went from like when I was ready, when I was hitting the button to start checkout, it was like, cool, man, we'll send it to you on the 2nd. And I was like, okay. And then when I pushed that button on the next page, it was like, you'll get it in March. And I was like, oh, no, I'm good. No. No. I would make 1 to 2 videos with it. And if those videos don't run, like to be blunt about it, if those videos don't run on the 2nd or 3rd, there's really no point. So at that point, I was like, I'm good. I'm good. Let's move on to our next game. This one suggested by Tim, who says, have you heard of this game? It's called Bionic Commando. I'll talk about the person I met when I was young. When they remade this game, when they put a voice to that, I'll talk about the person I became. Like, I was so fucking stoked. All right, Albatross, which was never put into practice. Imperial Forces Generalissimo Kilt had seen the plan and decided to execute the plan himself. And the Federation's trying to stop his attempt by sending our hero Super Joe. But oh man, where did Super Joe go? One brave man was sent with a special mission to rescue Super Joe. The story begins. Yeah, that is a very Rygar looking screen right there, isn't it? Oh, I love that they put an achievement in for watching the story. Enter the area, rescue Super Joe while staying in touch with agents. There are many agents in Area 1 now. First, go see them. Oh god, a speedrun leaderboard. That's so crazy. Well, I guess it's not that crazy. Alright, let's go to Area 1. We will descend. Yep, we got our gun. We got our transceiver. Let's communicate. Same one. Okay, yeah. Many of our agents have already infiltrated the sectors you'll be traveling. Let's find a communication room. I don't know why it did that there. I always wondered why it did that there. Why it, like, he faded out and came back in mid-conversation. Ignore all dangers and proceed to the open door. Right, that door doesn't open unless you do that. Okay, so we'll leave and come back, because you can also do wiretap to hear what the enemies have to say. Where of the elevator? Now we have you. There's some... I imagine there's quite a lot lost in translation in this game, because some of this stuff is weird. We need those bullets. I feel like that's the first skill check in this game, is can you make this jump? Because have you gotten good enough with the arm to do that? Ah, there's no way back down there to... The bullets give you life, you see. If I was speed running, I would just fall down the left shaft. Is there anything I forget? You go through so many different versions of this elevator shaft. I think we go all the way down to the bottom? No, we can go through here. Oops. Oh, I didn't even see that guy there. What the that's dumb. Of course that guy was there. No, it's the second one. It's not gonna work for me, man. Okay. I don't know. I have no chance to destroy the main system. We've obtained energy recovery pills. I guess let's go to zone 13. I don't remember what the right order to do things in is, but this is a neutral zone. We'll take our energy pills with us. It's a neutral area. If you start shit, they will start shit with you. I don't know anyone named Super Joe. Can't talk to him. What about you? Nope. This guy, though. Welcome, my friend. We've prepared some flare bombs for you. You will need them in Area 4. Push start button to use them. Yeah, need those flares for Area 4. Oops. There is a way to get that without taking damage. I just can't remember what it is. I guess if you do it... Yeah, anyway. Yeah. Gotta make sure that only a guy with a bionic arm can pick up those items. Oh, will we fight the truck? Oh. Let's go to Area 4. Okay, we need gun, we need flares, we need that transceiver. And so we can hit the start button to launch our flares. And here's our communications room. One, 4, and 5. So if there's a downfall to this game, it's what he was just alluding to. He's too strong for us. So that was when I wiretapped, and that guy was wearing my color of uniform. So is he like, there's some, when the wiretap conversations are so weird in this game. Anyway, what he was alluding to there, so he says, use this transceiver in areas 1, 4, and 5. The worst part about this game is that when you get multiple transceivers, you have to go into a level and pick the right one. And if you don't pick the right one, you'll get into a level and you won't be able to beat it because you will have the wrong transceiver. And there's like a like kill yourself button code that you would basically use to work back to the main menu, or to the map menu rather, and that would let you go back and pick a different transceiver. Fuck, we got dead. We got made dead. Oops. That's right, that's still a dead end. You're a fool, you think I'll have any weapons. I screwed that up. Yeah, so that wiretap was about the boss of this area. Let's try to get behind him, you know? But it's like a weird, like, am I wiretapping to talk to my own guy? Oh, we should have went and fought trucks also. You earn continues from the fights you get from encountering trucks, and so that might be the other annoying thing about this game. But yeah, kind of a rough translation. It's the sort of thing I would if there's a fan retranslation of it, maybe that would be a fun way to play this someday. Also one that maybe kind of just removes the transceiver stuff. Might be a neat way to go. But yeah, in Area 4, I want to say that the wiretap guy was wearing this color uniform. As opposed to this color uniform. Which, like, why am I wiretapping my own guys? And if I wiretap my own guy, why is he telling me how to beat the boss of that area? It's just, like, conceptually broken. So I guess you could also just play Rearmed, the remake of this game. Ah, shit, I wasn't far enough over. That sucks. The early parts of this game are brutal. Like, you... When you eventually get your life up like that, you know, you kind of... It's basically like an XP style system. So we can pause it, we can come back here and see 5 out of 15 for the next level. Okay. And you can, you know, if you wanted to farm life points, you could definitely do that as well in some of these early areas. Oh, shit. Okay. Sometimes you... What the... Alright, some kind of... That was a little funky there. Sometimes when you swing into guys, you don't take damage, or land on them from above. Like, it'll look like it's doing a damage animation, but it doesn't. Which usually works out in your favor, unless you get bounced into a hole or something. That's never good. All right, we need those flares, so we got to go to Area 13. If you shoot in this area, you just get jumped by guys wearing these neutral colors. Red crosses, you don't really see those in video games these days. Great sound effects. I think Rad Spencer looks cool as hell. Look at his cool gun. Look at the weird hose or something that he has there at his waist. Like, he's wearing his cool sunglasses. He's got a bionic frickin' arm. Like, as far as character designs go, you can't... His wife lives in the arm. It's just, you know, yeah, he invented the wallet chain. Like, he's the coolest. He's just... Man, I wish I was more like that dude. We're gonna go deliberately fight a truck. The music in Rearmed when you fight the trucks is so good. This isn't as good. You can spin your bionic arm to bash the bullets away. And basically, like, here's a part where they kind of turned it into Commando instead of Bionic Commando, you know? Which is a cool idea. Oh, right. You gotta... You get the continues from blowing up those Jeeps, so I missed one there, but... Well, the thing about continues is you only need one. I imagine they must be looking at the icons that were showing up down there. I bet there's an achievement for finishing this game without using the flares, or finishing the level here. Oh, you... Yeah, I did it to myself. So look here, what I was talking about. Here's our guy. He's telling us all about the communicators, areas 1, 4, and 5. And then we go to wiretap the enemy communications. And is that the same? Is that a different? It doesn't seem like the same color as the enemy guy in the first level. But is that not the same color as the good guys either? Yeah, he's the double agent, or you tap your... Yeah, well, but like, again, he's giving tips on how to beat this area's boss, which, like, I know there's a... Yeah, there is an element of subterfuge. Happening all around you, but some of that stuff always just seemed a little weird. Feels so good when you get those big full swings like that. Like mechanically, it takes a little bit of getting used to, right? Just how the grappling hook works. You can't jump, so you know, just like how do you use it? Where do you use it? Like realizing how to get to where you want to go. Sometimes takes a little effort. But once you get it down, it's amazing. It's amazing. Uh-oh. Shoot, man! Ugh. Fuck him. Wide cannon. Let's go to neutral area 15. Ooh, do we find another truck? Not yet, but we will. The wide cannon is garbage, by the way. It has a really short range on it. It's like a shotgun. It's terrible. Look at these guys. Look at these fucking Nazis. So if you don't know, in the Japanese version of this game, these guys are all like resurrecting Nazis. Like spoilers, you fight Hitler at the end of the game. For the US, they changed it to Master D. But like actual literal fucking Nazis. Shoot him right now. All right, well, the time for neutrality is over. We had to shoot our gun to make those walls disappear. And here's another transceiver. I got. Okay, fair, sure, all right. I think they'll still be... Yeah, they're still gonna jump me. I like the way they literally jump when they jump up and down. They kind of jump out of the background to show up and stuff. That's cool too. Meet with enemies and descend. You eventually get Super Joe's gun. Oh. Fuck, this game is good. Fuck, this game is good. It's like, this is a cool little thing. You have to kind of... Wait. Right? I have to... Oh, that's right. I stand on top of it to do it. But you slide off of these things, so you have to, like, very quickly grapple your way up to the next thing. Ah, this one's higher. All right. Area 5. Is this going to be the last time we use this transceiver? The underground passage was not in the map. Let's wiretap him. So with these fuckers, you hit them with your grappling hook to stop them out of their attack. They're doing it too low, so we're just gonna have to here, pop, and then shoot them. Gives a little noise when you hit them. Very satisfying. Shit, shit, shit. No, no, no. A second radio room. It took Joe towards Area 8. Yeah, it's fine. Is the rocket launcher all right? Yeah, it's good. Thanks for asking. Oh, this is where it gets to be kind of a pain, huh? Okay, so... Shit. We want to do this from this side. Oops, oops, shit. Okay, boing. So that's the only way you can jump is you hit those springs. It's really fucked up. I was like, wait, what does POW even do in this game? I don't remember. All right. Oh, all right, we made it inside. PPP. PPP. We've obtained rocket launcher. Let's head to neutral area 16. Like, the areas aren't really numbered in any kind of order. It's, you know, like a general... It's just... I don't remember the rocket launcher being very good either. It's a big ball, but it's very slow moving. There's weird symbol communicator inside. As a child, you're like, what? There's what communicator inside? Why you got fake letters, man? And you're like, oh, it's beta. There's alpha, there's beta, you know, like you know. Does Dickhead have anything to say? Get the heck out of here, you nerd. Oh. Apparently the robot is for real. What's this guy gonna have to say? Oh, thanks. All right, so I guess we'll go to area 2. And since we know that the transceiver that we started with works in areas 1, 4, and 5, we'll have to pick a transceiver for area 2. But I don't know which one it is. Let's try the rocket launcher. It could be this one, it could be that one. Or it could just be this one and they're you know. Let's try this one. Maybe I'm wrong. Yeah, the slime. We just ride the slime, man. Time to find out if we made the right choice. We did. If you have a wide cannon and a rocket launcher, go towards areas 3 and 6. Hey, if you beat the previous levels, go to the next levels. Like, oh, thank you. Thank you. Excuse me, where's the garbage dump? You imbecile! That's not a thing, is it? This isn't. Surely not. Okay, there's a room over there. But this is not the way there. There we go. Let's show what the second platoon can do. Yeah, it takes like 3 shots of the rocket launcher to... I forget what the the pendant blocks like 1 bullet, I think is what it is. Like your first shot doesn't do any damage if you take the pendant, I think. I guess we'll stick with this transceiver. Huh. Huh. Can I not be here yet? Is that what it is? Is there... Oh, do I have to go up? No. I can't leave, can I? No. Look, there's only one way to find out. This looks like I'm gonna die if I swing into it, but... Oh, right. Okay. Right. Right. Ah! Bugs! Did I die? Was I like, did I full on die there? Like I don't think that bug just warped me back to the beginning of the level. When the weird flytrap thing came out of the ground and ate my ass. Nazi bugs, fuck off. If I remember correctly, this falls as soon as I step on it? No. I know there's some... I want to say there are some elevators that will just fall on you. Oh, I want that bullet. There it is. Is this the right transceiver? If it's not, we're probably going to stop playing here. Okay. Okay, we're going to open the door of the boss's room. So that's the case, like, if you didn't bring the right radio, you're just fucked. It's like, it is the true downfall of this game. It's a really minor one. Because I don't know if the instruction manual even tells you that there's a way out of the level. Like you can, it's one of those things where you like take controller 2 and hit up and A and B and start or whatever, and it'll punch you out of the level. But I don't know that they tell you. That was like a Nintendo Power sort of thing. Heroes always look good. Disposal area? That's area 9. Okay, not going that way. Not going that way. Is there anything down here? No. Oh. The spikes are so brutal. Like, there's no leeway. No, like, standing on the spikes time. Or anything like that. So where do we continue from here? Okay, so it bops us back here. You know, you get items for finishing most of the levels, so there's always a good reason to finish every level, even though it's like, go to level 9. Like, I'm sure that there's some levels that are technically optional. But let's just, I don't know, let's look at one more level here. Let's go look at level 6. Ooh, truck fight? No, okay. I mean, we could force a truck fight, but let's... Would this be an area with the other one? I don't know. Let's change it and find out. I don't know. Oh, okay. Oh, the rocket launcher will get through this. So if you don't have the rocket launcher, you can't get through that wall. So that's another thing. What? So that would be a full-on soft lock if you didn't know how to get out of a level. Oops, I just burned my pills. Unless in a situation like that, unless you walk out. Maybe there might be a case where if you go in without the right item, like there, that it will let you walk out the left side of the level. I want to say Area 4 lets you do that if you don't have the, if you don't have the... See, we need to get up there without getting hit by the spikes. And I keep doing it the exact same timing each time, and it's not working. You see, and anyway, we'll probably move on from this one in a little bit. But look at that guy, he's fucking drone pilot dude. Just overscan up there. That's not actual level. Oops. No! All right. When you kill that guy, all his drones die. That's cool. I can't help but feel like this is not like the right way. Oh, no, that is a door over there. I am supposed to be getting over there, aren't I? Like, they throw challenges at you with the... I mean, you kind of have to get good with the grappling hook to play this game. You kind of can't just slop your way through it. This is frustrating because I'm going to fall on this guy's head, aren't I? Yeah, I took damage there. I don't know that there was a way around that one. It's life in the big city, Super Joe. That's why you got captured. Oh no, I screwed that up. Okay, all right. All right. Anyway, we've got other games we've got to get to, so... Fuck. Anyway. Tremendous video game. Just an amazing video game. So this game came to Game Boy Color at one point, and they changed it. It's like Bionic Commando Elite Forces, I think is what they call it. And like the one change they make, other than, you know, porting it to Game Boy Color, is they fix the transceiver thing. Like it's kind of the... How's the Commodore 64 version? It's garbage because it's based on the arcade version. And the arcade version is more of a straightforward action game. I think I saw this guy on TV. He was in Iowa last week, wasn't he? Um, and so that Game Boy Color version is actually pretty good because they fixed that one weird one weird problem of the transceiver thing. The arcade version of the game is an incredibly straightforward action game. It's garbage. It's not a great game. Like everything that is cool about the grappling hook in this version of the game kind of works against you in that version of the game. The graphics don't feel great. Like they put you in bad situations where you're kind of like forced into taking hits because of you have to grapple into an area, like all of that sort of stuff. And then the Commodore 64 version is like a really bad version of that arcade game. And so it's a miserable port. This game, however, just incredible. Just an amazing feeling video game. The mastery you can get over that grappling hook and the way the levels are designed to help you take advantage of that comes together so well, and that shines through to this very day. I think a lot of this game, like, you know, when they reissued this game and when Rearmed came out, they did things to kind of soften it a little bit to make it a little bit more palatable, a little bit easier and stuff like that. But even in its original form, it's absolutely amazing. And I think it looks great. I think there's some astounding music, some really great just background, some vistas, the sun in that intro, and just so much, you know, like good character face work that when you have the knowledge of like, oh, these are Nazis, like you look at them and go like, oh yeah, no, they drew some really good stereotypical looking fucking Nazi dudes here, didn't they? And you get to blow up their damn heads. Quite literally one of the goriest games on the platform. Like Nintendo, it's got red crosses in it and a more violent ending for the final boss than would seemingly be allowed in the years that followed. Like this, I don't know how this slipped through the cracks on Nintendo's seal of approval, but this is an amazing video game. It's one of the best games of all time. It is one of the greatest games ever made. It always was. Even in light of like what feels like an oversight in some ways of like the transceiver stuff. Like at the end of the day, there's something kind of brutal but kind of neat about the very idea of just like, you went in with the wrong thing. And now what? And I kind of like that aspect of it in some sick way. But like if we're, you know, it is in a situation where they don't tell you, hey, there's a button thing you can do to punch out of the level, which everyone knew, or you know, of the handful of people that I know that were aware of this game back then, that was a pretty widely known thing. Everyone got Nintendo Power. So like the idea of like, here's how to leave a level if you go in with the wrong transceiver was like pretty well known. And so it wasn't, at the end of the day, that wasn't that big of a deal. It's just a weird thing in retrospect of just like, yeah. But there was definitely like, you know, I had to finish this game without that information because, you know, that didn't come until a little bit later. But I still did. I still persevered. The top-down stuff, the throwback to the original Commando that they do, and having that in the truck fights is so good too. Having the little, you know, being able to swing your grappling hook around you to bat away bullets is such a neat idea, like just mechanically neat. Really just, you know, you build a loadout before you go into a level, which didn't, you know, that was not something that was done in a lot of games back then. It had a depth to it. And even the, you know, I think in a lot of ways the localization works for it because it adds just, like there's mystery in this game, you know? You're wiretapping the signals and, oh, what are they saying? What are they doing over here? And occasionally, like there's one spot in the game where if you do a wiretap, as you come out of the transceiver screen, enemies are in the radio room with you. They jump you. Like there's That's fucking cool. It's yeah. Bionic Commando uh is an incredible video game. But is it better than Q*bert? I don't know. I suppose it's better than Q*bert. I guess it's probably at least a little bit better than Krusty's Funhouse. Scientifically speaking, his sunglasses are awesome, and thus. I mean, it's better than Low G Man, the Low Gravity Man. Even though gravity is not on Rad Spencer's side in this game, he would benefit from a little low gravity. When Rearmed 2 came out, when they started remaking this game, and then they made a sequel to it, and they said, let's give him a mustache and make him able to jump. The jumping in Rearmed 2 is interesting. And I remember at the time talking to them about it and being like, why would you put jumping in this video game? It's the antithesis of what this game is. And they were like, hey, yes. But also, we did Rearmed. And we did challenges and we built all this other stuff in Rearmed. And so adding the ability to jump lets them design levels around the idea of like, what if you jump and then hook and then do this and then do this? And so adding that one more tool to the tool set, like they don't add it so you can jump over enemies or, it's not really that stuff that, so it lets them design in a world where they already made a perfect remake of the original game. I think that I get why they would add jumping in the second game, and there's some cool stuff in that game, but it's not as awesome as the first Rearmed was. Yeah, Rearmed. Hey man, I like Bionic Commando for the goddamned Xbox 360 and PlayStation 3. Like that remake, I think is cool. Is it a great game? It's got issues. Let's not be of course it has issues, but that game is fucking neat, and the story's ridiculous. The story that didn't make it into the game is actually more fascinating in some ways too. Like the lore they created around that universe for if they ever made more of them or whatever else. Like the whole thing of just like. It's such a neat fucking thing. That's a neat fucking game that people shit on and like I don't know. It had multiplayer in it that was like kind of cool in its own weird way, but like it's yeah, that remake is really neat. It gets a bum rap. And it certainly does have issues. That game ain't perfect, but it's cool. Bionic Commando is better than Rockin' Cats. It's better than Urban Champion. Bionic Commando is better than Commando. Let's start there. It's better than Mega Man 1. Scientifically speaking, it's a better game than Solomon's Key. It's a better game than Super Dodgeball. It's a better game than The Goonies 2. For sure. And Goonies 2 is an amazing game. Bionic Commando is better than Mike Tyson's Punch-Out. Bionic Commando is better than Contra. I see some people disagreeing. This is the science. It's the science. Also, go back and play Contra. It's short. Bosses are not that challenging. There's like Contra's cool. Bionic Commando is better than River City Ransom. The Contra in your head, and it's probably the biggest thing, the thing that's been the most exciting thing about building this list is killing the games that live in my head. Because the Contra that lives in your head is the greatest game of all time. Like, oh, fucking Contra. You go back and actually play Contra, you're like, this is a great game. Like this is a hell of a video game. Just fantastic. But when you see it for what it really is, as opposed to what it's become in your mind, you'll detach from that a little bit. Bionic Commando is a masterpiece. Bionic Commando is better than Rygar. Bionic Commando is better than Rygar. Bionic Commando is better than Super Mario Brothers. Bionic Commando is quite possibly, man, well, I can't say that because we've got hundreds of games to go. Bionic Commando is a very hard game to beat, scientifically speaking. It's operating on a different level than a lot of these other games in terms of the variety of gameplay it has to offer. In terms of the options at your disposal, in terms of the story it is telling. You eventually get Super Joe's machine gun. Oh, and you find Super Joe. Oh, man. And it's so well made in terms of the movement, and there is a purity of the mechanics in Bionic Commando that, again, still shine through in a way that is mind-blowing. You think about a game where one of the core tenets of it was you can't jump. And on paper, you're like, what the hell? This is terrible. What are you talking about? And I remember first getting the game and being like, this is crazy. Why can't I just jump? What the hell? But the swinging is so good and the levels are designed so well around your grappling hook. Like that stuff works in concert so perfectly. That you pretty quickly forget it, except for the idea that they put in these springs for like, hey, and now you can jump. The jumping is almost a hassle in those spots because it's like, oh God, I'm jumping. Oh, no. I'm jumping off to my death now. What the hell? And so congratulations to Bionic Commando, our new #1 game. And it's a game that, again, a game that kind of started in arcades, and it has a different name here. The Japanese version It's like Top Secret, you know, Revenge of Hitler or whatever the full Japanese name is. Whereas I think in the arcade game, it's sort of presented as more of a sequel or a separate game with a separate name in Japan. Yeah, Revival of Hitler. That's what it is. But I think they just call it Top Secret, the arcade game. So there was less confusion because they had different names there, whereas here everything was just called Bionic Commando. And you're just like, oh, well, shit. And so when I bought that Commodore 64 game, I was expecting it to be more like the NES game. And when I got it and installed it, or put and by that I mean install the floppy disk into the disk drive, and it loaded up, and it was this other game. Because I had never seen the arcade game at that point. I didn't know that the arcade game was what it was, because no arcades around me. That Strider was the same situation, now that I think about it, like where just the arcades around me did not carry Capcom games, I suppose, and so I didn't see Bionic Commando and Strider in arcades until years after they were released, and so I didn't even know that existed then. And so it was very frustrating to get that game home and be like, this is terrible, and then see the arcade game and be like, ugh, this is bad too. Same situation with Strider, where I didn't see the arcade version of Strider until after I had played the Genesis version of Strider, which we'll get to Strider. We'll get to Strider. Thanks to Tim for suggesting that one. Next up, can this game dethrone our new number one? I don't know. Next up, we've got a game known as Taboo, The Sixth Sense. It's another game from Rare. All right, we got this guy. I'm not 100% sure what Taboo is. All that has been and all that will be is here for you to know. Dare you glimpse the future? Dare you even ask Taboo, the time machine on Nintendo? What am I entering here? Oh, just numbers? Am I entering? Is it... So, what am I... If it'll just let me punch in random numbers, what the fuck are we... Oh, okay. So let's try and assume it's like month, year, day, because this is the US version, even though Rare would have probably made it another way. Okay. My question... How many? This music is a little too intense for this. How many roads? Oh, at least only use the B button to erase. Come on. How many roads must a man walk down? Does this have, what is this? Is it OpenAI? Is this, what, do I have to enter my API key here, or? The Knight of Cups. I will now deal the cards. What is this horse shit? The present position is practical, honest, and loving. Huh. Thank you. Oh, you're going to just play that music over and over again until I hit A? Is that what we're doing here? Presently influencing you is the achievement of goals or needs. I suppose that's true. Yeah, that's sure. Yeah, I can see myself in this, as I imagine anyone could. How do I jump? The best that can currently be accomplished is cooperation and agreement. I suppose that's true. The distant past foundation is this. So is that saying that I discovered harmony in the past? Because, The distant past foundation is the discovery of harmony. Previous influences exerting pressure are able to perceive things in an impartial, fair, and balanced manner. So like, the pressure of science, as we're doing right here. This bell noise is really something else. Ugh. I feel like I'm sinking. Forthcoming influences. Near future influencing you soon is a good omen, bright prospects, and optimism. And that's influencing me? What? These sentences are written poorly. Near future influencing you soon is a good omen, bright prospects, and optimism. Where one finds oneself card, the Queen of Staves. This card is reversed. Currently, you are and have and feel are experiencing jealousy, economical, or opposition. Your tendencies, as viewed by others, are an appeal or request. Fucking what? All right, okay. Oh, okay. Your inner hopes and fears are productivity and fullness. Yeah. Let's get some food and then hopefully at least feel like we did something. My hopes and fears. Yeah, I suppose. And what's the last one? Here's how I die. Final outcome. The culmination of the events revealed before will be gaining the advantage. Dude, what? Select your state. Wait, what? I can move this, but like what? Minimum. Oh, so, okay, so select will do that. How many numbers? 6 numbers. I can't, it won't let me select state. I don't know what I need to push. I'm worried. Maybe if I hit the start. Oh, you set your minimum and maximum, so it's like, here are some lottery numbers. Got it. This music's not great. I was hoping for more. Oh, that's we did it. This screen has a nice background. Looks like a weird demo scene thing. I like that you can't skip any of this. Like, you gotta let them shuffle the cards, otherwise it won't be right. Nintendo published this. Think about that. I'm sorry. Let's just check the box here. But Trade West published it. Okay. Never mind. I could have sworn that Nintendo published this one, but I guess they published Anticipation. For some reason, it's just all of that blends together in my head. Getting more achievements. I don't think this is in Rare Replay. Boredom in a relationship and bitterness. The Two of Coins. Couple of okay tracks in here. Okay, so A and B change the state. The select key changes the numbers. Oh, so so it knows that at least back then that California was a 649 lottery state. So it'll automatically input. That's funny. I don't know. I don't think California is. It was 6 numbers and it was 1 to 49. That's how they promoted it. It was like 649 back then. And so that's why it changes that, because it knows they entered what the lottery numbers are for different states. That's so stupid. All right, everyone go play these numbers. Or don't, because I entered a fake name. Maybe, that wasn't for me. That was for Az. The lottery ads were all over the TV constantly. I remember when they didn't. I don't know what year it was when the lottery started, but boy, it was everywhere. Everywhere. You gotta play Lotto. It's worse than Qbert. I just, the idea of a tarot card reading, like, hey, whatever, if you're gonna be into that goofy shit, then fine. The idea of packaging that up into a Nintendo cartridge is fucking brutal. Just conceptually, of just like, what? Like, the music is so, like, there's a couple of tracks that are okay, but they're all so short that you don't even really get time to really feel them. There's not enough to them. So it's worse than Silver Surfer. I would rather play Taboo than Circus Caper or Athena. I'd rather play Chiller. Huh? No, I would not rather play Chiller. But I would rather play Master Chew and the Drunkard Hugh than Taboo. And so that's where we put it. It's our new number 165. Congratulations to Taboo. As well as Apple Diap and Will.i.am. What's next? This is a game, Michael suggested this game. I have no idea what this is. In fact, when he suggested it in the comments section over at patreon.com/Jeff Gerstmann, I was like, that's not a game. You're someone is typing in fake games, or maybe this came out in Japan or whatever. And I don't know. But like, sure enough, man, this game apparently exists. And it's called Cowboy Kid. No, I literally 1991. The idea of an NES game. Is Romstar a real company? Yeah, Romstar. Romstar brought over. They were like a licensing based company, so. You'll see Romstar's name on a lot of Capcom arcade games in cabinets. They would license Capcom's arcade games in Japan and bring them over. And so you would see Romstar's name on like a Speed Rumbler cabinet or something like that. But like, I don't think Romstar made any games of their own. I think they were just licensing Japanese companies' games and bringing them over. And so maybe they did something similar on home consoles and so on, but I maybe they did that. I don't know, but yeah, Romstar is not a name I associate with actual development. It's more of a they're a port house, a localization house, whatever you want to call it. Not that there was a lot of localization to be done back then. Anyway, I have no idea what this game. You could tell me this was a role-playing game, I would believe you. You could tell me it was a shitty side-scrolling, like, sub Mega Man, sub Wampum action game, and I would believe you. I don't know what we're in for. I'm going to hit this button and we're going to find out. Okay. I can jump. What the fuck? Is it like River City Ransom? There has been a lot of crime in town lately. Did you come to town empty-handed? Here's a weapon, partner. I brought a knife to a gunfight. It was that lady's got a sword. Howdy, partner. Yeah, I would like to buy some French fries, some cowboy French fries. No. Okay, I have enough money for both. All right. Meant to buy the key there. The way these guys will just walk up on you and dump when you're just trying to, like, open a chest or whatever is really kind of wild. Oh, really? Dude, what is this game? Judge next door is looking for a sharp gunslinger to hire sheriff. Get a key to open his door. You're in luck. We already did that. This town needs a fast gun and a quick eye for sheriff. You want to be the law on these streets? Is that all? Yeah, sure, man. Oh, did I, by hitting the B button, did I opt out of that conversation? By the powers vested in me, I hereby appoint you sheriff of our town. Great. Do I get a gun? What is this game? Slash Joe, the knife expert. What's up? I'm the sheriff. I'm just running around stabbing people. I'm the sheriff. Maps, ladders, and bread. We got it all. Well, let's buy a ladder. Probably going to want to get that map eventually, too. Oh, look at that. When underground, you can use the ladder to get above ground. By first press the start button and then the A button. Thanks, kid. Oh, you're just gonna... Alright. I thought maybe you were cool, but... Seems like infinite money is yours if you're willing to just, you know, go in and out of a, you mean this isn't it? It's only $100 a hit. Something that said anything at all about how this is controlled would have been awesome. Let's try it one more time, because I think Okay. So we want to hit it in that range in the middle then, right? Is that? Dude. I'm going to stab you. I'm the sheriff. This is my place. I'm the sheriff. What the fuck is this game? I hate how imprecise the attack is. It's so bad. Put clearly something under there if I could just move the... More enemies just keep running on the screen non-stop. Like, fucking leave me alone for like a second. This game, what the hell, man? I got enough money for that map now. Was the store up here? Yeah. This game is broken in a few different ways. Oh, I forgot I could jump. But the saloon serves such good food, don't you think? This guy's got moves. Wait, so is that all those in here? As I spent a key to get... Talk to this idiot? I didn't see any other locked doors. I don't know where I'm supposed to go. We went everywhere we could go down here. I have the map now, but like... Okay, so now that I have the... Oh, that uses the ladder. Oh, so like the ladder is like an immediate, like, leave the dungeon, punch out sort of thing, but it uses the ladder. I can jump over it, but it will... What? Oh, okay. Well, we found that secret extra life. Was that here? No. Okay, you see there's a little... So there wasn't any way out over here, right? It's just a... So where that hidden staircase was, there were like little notches on the wall that you could see. Okay. No. No, it's stupid. It lets you walk around in these menus so you can leave instead of using the menu. And I can't buy the bread because it's gone, so I need to leave and come back, and then I can buy the bread. This game is like broken. Well, not broken, but like this game is crummy. There we go. No, this is okay. This is where we were first. So maybe we just need to go, keep going to the right here. Nope. Let's try going back the way we came, I guess. I don't know. Yeah, what was this in Japan? Like this has to be some reskinned something else because it just feels like it's so barely a Western game. Start the A does open the map. Okay, when I'm above ground, that's why. Okay, so there's another route down if I go down to the left, I guess. So that's probably where I have to go. This is where we started. I hear that Slash Joe is hiding in town. Slash Joe writes the most despicable slash fic in all the Wild West. $200? I want to do this, but $200 is so much money. We gotta hit soft 17. Yeah, all right, sure. That was a 5-card Charlie I got there. Play out. Should that be pay out? Y'all come back now, you hear? Another store. Dude, I can refill my health for 60 back at the other place. What? Hat. A hat. I like how bad these achievement names are. I'm way into it. The game doesn't deserve anything more. Who's that guy? He looks like a bandit. Hey, you varmint, stay away. Yes. All right, I'll stay away from his livestock. Did I pass the area? Ah! I don't have my map anymore. What, can I only look at it 3 times before it fucking explodes? This sucks, dude. Slash Joe is headed for the train station. So is this a store now, or... Nope. I could use some discounts on goods and services for saving you, partner. Get my well-rested XP bonus. Oh, I just noticed that I have time ticking down also. This is, there's a lot of bad stuff happening in this game. The attack range is completely miserable. Slash Joe visitor. What? We're going to go look at the achievement names here to see. Okay, talk to all citizens while capturing Slash Joe. Got it. Okay. So they said he was heading for the train station. I imagine that means I got to go all the way back where I came. The enemies come on screen so suddenly. It's such a pain in the ass. This game is... This is miserable. Like, it doesn't look that, you know, like, it doesn't look that bad. But, jeez. Oh no! Shouldn't the sheriff have a gun? I don't want to be a jerk here, but like... Oh right, I have a jump button. I was like, is he gonna auto jump when I get to the edge? No, no, you have a jump button. I need to jump, right. This is, I don't know that I can jump up there. And I can't go back because... There it goes. Gotta line it up right, I guess. Good music here. Haha, it didn't show up until you started jumping. Have fun taking damage. Yeah, it looks like this is potentially 2-player simultaneous, given the way the HUD looks there. I have no interest in doing this fight with any level of care or skill. I just... Mad Brothers, the duo of evil. It's like everything you like about River City Ransom gone wrong. Like, the combat is fucking terrible. The town areas are awful. Like, this is really shocking to me. It's a lot of money for a key. Yeah, it sounds like it's similar to a Goemon game that came out for the Famicom, but not identical. Is that the... Oh, come on. What, we can't pick that? Well, now I've got an area where I can safely coin up. Look at this. Let's get the skull. This is fun. Why am I doing this? Let's stop doing this. Yeah, so 2-player. It feels bad. That's the I think the big problem with it is like the combat range is pretty miserable. The where you stand, where you are on screen when the screen is scrolling and the enemies come at you, they come at you a little too fast for your attack range and all of that sort of stuff. It's like it does a bunch of different things, but it does them all kind of poorly. And I think, yeah, I mean, in some ways it feels like a broken River City Ransom in some ways, you know? Like the jump doesn't feel good. There's some pretty rough stuff in there. It's a neat idea. It's crazy because of how late in the system's life cycle it came out and all of that stuff. Like it's interesting of the game just kind of falling through the cracks and all that sort of stuff. I think there's a lot of stuff that's like, the ability to just like get money over and over again is either a good thing or a bad thing, right? I mean, the economy in that game is not outstanding. But it's certainly not the only game to have a shop where the items are not priced well. $1,000 key at the start of level 2, when that's more money than you've ever seen up to that point, is what I'm getting at. But the idea of like, okay, go in this area, see what's what, open all these unlocked doors, go do a boss fight, like the kind of mildly open nature of it is kind of compelling. It's just I think the street combat is so bad. The street combat is really rough stuff, and that kind of holds it back. There's kind of a great game there, but it's not. It's really buried under a lot of stuff. It's better than Dr. Chaos. Is it better than Jackie Chan's Action Kung Fu? That's a I don't know. Jackie Chan's Action Kung Fu is not a fantastic video game, but it's like it's not better than no. It's no Journey to Silius. It's no Dragon Spirit: The New Legend. But we're probably right in this zone. It's better than Bases Loaded. That port of Road Blasters was okay. That port of Snow Brothers is okay. Ice Climber is a heck of a game. Is it better than Ice Climber? No. Is it better than Snow Brothers? All right. Congratulations to our new number 63 Cowboy Kid. It's got ideas. I like the idea of it as a 2-player simultaneous game as well, but like the movement of the camera, like the movement and the combat and how those things fit together is so bad and not congruous that I feel like it would probably just be a complete mess if you played it with another person. But yeah, that's a weird one for sure. All right. Well, clearly we're not going to get to everything on the list today. Well, why don't we go? Kevin suggested the sequel to this game, but I don't want to get to that one until we've played the first one, and so let's do that one instead. It's called Wizards and Warriors. This game, I had this game, and it has this, I feel like it has, maybe it's just me, but it feels like it has some kind of legendary status where people are like, oh yeah, Wizards and Warriors, fuck yeah. And then they made more of them. Like, I think people really like Iron Sword, the second one, but I don't. And I played a lot of this game, man. I played a lot of this game. And I remember liking it at the time. I have my doubts about liking it now. So let's find out. I need a key to open that, don't I? Can I not do anything with these acorns? Seems like you should be able to. Let's go in this door and then go up if we can. Knowing kind of what I know about games these days, it makes sense that Rare made this game. It's got such a, it has a weird British feel to it. I can't open that either because I still don't have keys. Let me out. So when you're jumping, your sword does do damage, the way it pokes out there like that, which is... Okay. I get this music stuck in my head a lot, and I can never remember what it's from. The running out of life in Wizards and Warriors music. Thou hast discovered gems. So is it that I have to find a certain number of gems before I can leave the level? Is that it? Let me out. Actually, there's a chest up there at the top that we probably want to go up and try to get now, huh? The enemies come at you from at bad angles, given the way your attack. This is the attack. It's like he, after a couple of attacks, he'll kind of lift his sword up a little bit. What do the boots do? Who can say? Oh, right. You gotta have 100 gems to get past the guy. Ah, shit. This, So I think with the boots of force, I can kill enemies by landing on them now that I have the boots. That's what it is. The movement is so miserable. There's... Dude, I hate this. Is perhaps how I would put it. Oh, can I go in the hole? Yeah. Is this, can I go? Okay. I was like, is there someplace else for me to go or what? It's not just a boss fight of me fighting these bees, is it? Now we can throw this dagger out. But unfortunately, I'm out of lives. Press any key to continue. Can I even destroy this? Or is it just gonna... No. That's gonna just generate bugs forever. Can I stand on the top of this shell to get up there? What? No, just gotta run and jump. Okay. And now there's an evil skull. I like the little leg dangle there on the death animation. It's pretty good. Thou hath rescued Lucinda. The map. It's like you look at it and go like, oh, like Ghosts and Goblins. But worse. In so many ways. If I get a running start, can I make that jump? Yeah. Okay, but to what end? Ultimately, no reason to be up there. 100 gems. We're a little short. The attack just looks so inconsequential. You know what I mean? Like the range on the sword and this like kind of flitty little animation it does, I think really sucks. It's like a decent animation for like showing off, but like I just in terms of like readability and all of that sort of stuff, I hate it. I hate it. But this is, you know, this was a game in kind of classic, in the classic sense of, well, I got this game. What am I going to do? Not play it? I probably finished this game, assuming it ends. I probably saw everything there was to see in this game. I remember me and my neighbor playing a lot of this game. But it really is, you know, like I guess once you've memorized the levels and you know that, hey, the red key is there, and now all those chests will be open, assuming you remember where those chests are. Yeah, I don't know. I guess, yeah, this isn't so bad. I don't know. Now that we're kind of into it a little bit. Like I'm seeing the appeal or what kind of drove me to play it then, at least. But I just the movement. It's the movement and the So can I jump higher now? Is that what it is? Is that what the potion does? I forget. Doesn't feel like I'm jumping any higher, but maybe I am. Please just be gems. Okay, that works too. I just need 3 fucking gems, man. Come on, just loan me a few. Oh, okay. Yeah. So before I jump, I can do a little bit of this, and then... Weird. It's a weird game. Oh! Alright, I just need one more stupid gem. Cool. Oh. Uh-oh. Like, these bats do a lot of damage and just take too many hits to kill, and the range on your sword sucks. It's... This game's annoying. Like, it's got... Can I land on it? Is that... Because I got my fancy boots, right? I can... Well, maybe not. Yo, fuck this. The attack, the default, like, this attack animation and the range on it and all that sort of stuff is just so fucking bad. Like, look at that. He's just, like, swarming me, and it's like it doesn't hit because the stupid sword is so garbage. Fuck off. Fuck off. Fuck this. That's Wizards and Warriors. I like this music. I let the Archangels take him. Boy, oh boy. In the early days, when I thought of Acclaim, Wizards and Warriors was the game I thought of. Like, that was maybe one of the first Acclaim games I had purchased, or I don't know why that is, but Acclaim at one point was kind of synonymous with Wizards and Warriors. And then the game would get multiple sequels, you know, and then just fall off the faces of the earth as the generations changed. You know, it just kind of went away. There's something to it. It feels like a very British game. Like, that's the thing. Going back to it now, it's like, oh, just wander around a big area and collect a bunch of shit, and then you can get out and like, oh yeah, like there's some kind of Spectrum-y, ZX Spectrum-y about the layout of this game, not how it feels now. You know, well, maybe part of how it plays, honestly, but you know, but part of how it looks and operates. Just reminds me kind of that slightly earlier era of gaming, which Rare, you know, was where Rare made its bones. So it makes sense that that legacy or that style would still kind of persist for a few years afterwards. but that the attack is so bad. The default, the just the sword swing and stuff, like it feels bad. There's inertia on your movement in a way. Everything in that game feels like Sonic trying to walk up a 3-inch hill when he's stopped moving, and you're like, why is does every bit of momentum in that game, every bit of movement and jumping and stuff has this sluggish, like, I'm pushing the button, why aren't we going? Like there's it feels off. And that's probably its biggest problem. The other thing I would say is everything about the sword attack, and like, because when you're jumping, even when you're jumping, and this is realistic, this is how it would be, man. The side that has the sword on it is the side that does damage. So if an enemy swoops in from the backside and you can't really react at that point, you'll take damage as opposed to giving it. So like the hit boxes, or your hit boxes for your attacks are shitty. And I think that's the biggest annoyance of it, is like, because then when you get swarmed by enemies, you're like, I don't know, am I doing, like is this hitting at all? The feedback on your attacks is really nasty too. Like there's nothing, it's like, so you're just like swinging, like in that second level with those ice, the little frozen ice dudes that kept popping up out of the ground. Like I couldn't even tell if I was ever hitting any of them, because they don't react in any sort of way, in any like big meaningful way. And it's like, yeah, it's a lot of vertical shafts, and the jumping doesn't feel great, and the air control doesn't feel great, and so you're left trying to work your way up these inside of these trees and all this other verticality, and those are the worst mechanics in the game. Is the jumping, the maneuvering, the air control stuff, like that's the most frustrating part of the entire game. Like you get cool stuff like that levitation that lets you jump a little bit higher. Like there's neat stuff around the edges, and it is like this exploration focused game at a time when there weren't exactly a ton of games like that. Like, oh, did you know that you can run to the left? Like, whoa, what? So like that. It has like those little things going for it, but ultimately I think the combat aspect of it is so rotten that really gets in the way. They were right to give you infinite continues, because you can kind of brute force your way through that game, though obviously the boss fights, you have to you got to do those yourself, and so there's a lot of frustrations that I think hold back like what would otherwise be like a perfectly normal video game. And I think with some minor tweaks, that game would probably feel a lot better. But if that game just had, I mean, if they prioritized a good visible slash of the sword, as opposed to, check it out, man, he's doing like sword shit, and like the animation's cool. You look at it and go, look at that guy, he's doing sword shit. I think if they had just gone with something that was more just a whoosh, whoosh, kind of very simple slash that was very visible and very like, this is the cone where the damage is done, I think that would have, even that would be a dramatic fix. That'd be a very big step in the right direction in terms of like helping this game feel better. Now or whatever. If they want the sword fights to be all animated and all cool, then they just need to make that automatic almost, where like just hold down the button and anything that gets close to you is going to get, unless you're facing the wrong way or something, like, it's going to take care of it. Like they needed to make that a little bit more friendly, I think, for that to work. So that's Wizards and Warriors. It's, not a lot of wizards in there. Just some knights. Maybe you fight a wizard at the end. I forget. But yeah, there are upgrades, and the game definitely does change as you play it. So there's later game stuff that is probably going to make some kind of impact one way or the other. But it's It's got a pretty rotten feel to it. That's ultimately, I think that's the biggest problem with it, is it just feels bad in the hand. The movement and the momentum and the inertia and everything is so sluggish and weird, and the air control and so on and so forth, that like a more mobile, agile character, I think would be welcome as well. But that's what that game is. Where does it go on the list? Wizards and Warriors is it better or worse than Cowboy Kid? That's a weird question. Is Wizards and Warriors, let's start somewhere else. Wizards and Warriors is better than Pirates. I think we can say that. Pretty definitive. Let's look at more of the list here before we start locking it down. Yeah, Wizards and Warriors is better than Zen Intergalactic Ninja. It's better than Kid Nicky. It's better than Top Gun. It's worse than Jackie Chan's Action Kung Fu. It's worse than Cowboy Kid. Okay, I feel better saying that now. So we're probably talking about somewhere around here. Though realistically, I think, like, in terms of games with some openness, I would prefer a Rambo, for as weird as Rambo is. I don't think it's as good as Ring King. Not a lot of oral action in Wizards and Warriors. Ring King has that aspect covered. But I do feel good about Wizards and Warriors being somewhere near Dr. Chaos. I think that's like a similar league. Is it better or worse than Narc? That's a funky port of Narc. The controls are so fucked, man. Playing Narc is a bummer because it just reminds you that, like, you could be playing real Narc. Not really an option then. So it's a little outside the scope of the ranking per se, but congratulations to Wizards and Warriors. It's our new number 73. A top 100 game. For now. That's quite a roller coaster this week. We didn't hit quite. I had a few more games pulled here that we will we'll use that to kind of seed next week's installment. Those games are Base Wars, Break Time, the National Pool Tour, Skate or Die 2, and Defenders of Dynatron City. So next time around, we'll look at those and a handful of other games probably. We'll fill out the list. If you want to suggest some games, head on over to Patreon. You can back the beast. No? I don't know. And you can also suggest games for me to play on future installments of this show. We'll get to all of them eventually, but, you know, the order is to be determined by you as part of the Gerstmann advisory panel. Thank you for your advising. And also, fuck you for your advising in some cases. Some of these games are, damn it. No, whatever. We got to play them all. Thank you very much. Yes, for Taboo. Yes, thanks to Virtual Balboa for suggesting Taboo. I'm glad to get that one on the list here. It fell pretty low. Pretty low on the list there, old Taboo. Sometimes it's nice to have a new game in the bottom 10 just to help you establish the floor here. And honestly, I was not coming into this thinking that we would see a new number one. But boy, howdy. That's just what happened. Congratulations to Capcom for holding the number one spot for now. I don't know what goes above that. That's a rough... that's how I felt about Super Mario Brothers, though. All honestly, there was a part of me that was just like, man, we're going to get to the end of this, and Super Mario Brothers 1 is going to end up being the top game on the list. And now here we are. It's no longer the top game on the list. And now in my head, I'm like, I don't know that any game is better than Bionic Commando. Bionic Commando is one of the greatest games of all time. Period. I can't readily think of a game that's definitively better on this platform, which is why we're doing the science. Because if we don't play them and see them, how will we ever know? Of course, lots of tumultuous happenings to come here. We're only 171 games in. We have hundreds of games left to add to this list. I'm sure there are more out there that I didn't even know existed, like Cowboy Kid. I'm just like, no idea that Cowboy Kid was a thing until today, or until yesterday when I was building the list for today. Crazy. All right, everybody, that's going to do it. We'll be back next Friday to rank some more games. And we'll be back on Tuesday with the podcast and all that good stuff. Keep on trucking, I suppose. I don't have a good sign-off catchphrase. Everybody, whip out your balls if you got them. Smoke them if you got them. Balls smokers. Is that a good catchphrase? We'll keep workshopping it. Yeah, there we go. Until next time, don't talk to the cops.